All right, we are running. So, what made you want to start teaching?
Well, I wasn't certain about what direction I wanted my career to go, but I entered teaching and I found that I loved it, so I stayed.
Well, how long have you been teaching?
I've been teaching for 24 years.
24 years?
Yeah.
Wow,
The
that's
first-
older than like some of the kids in the building.
The first 14 years of my career, I was a middle school shop teacher, and then that position was eliminated, so I took some classes in robotics, and I have evolved through robotics into this position at the COT, which is considered a pre-tech class.
Do you actually, so you were over like at the main school building. Do you like being over at the COT?
I do like being over at the COT. I think the students treat it a little bit more professionally. I think the students behave a little bit more professionally when they arrive here than they do at the high school. It's a nice building. I love the administration. My colleagues here at the COT building are wonderful. So yeah, overall, I love the high school, but I like being here as well.
Did you drop digital media? Because I'm looking at that board and I don't see digital media.
I don't have digital media this semester, but I will second semester.
Okay. So, other than digital media, you're still teaching like 3 other classes?
I teach, I think it's 6 different disciplines in total, but some of them align. Robotics and advanced robotics. Materials and trades have some similarities. Programming aligns with robotics, and
Digital media.
digital media is just...
I think that's a bit of an outlier since that doesn't really connect into anything. You know?
I'd have to say that is probably...
Although you do need like digital media to get into this class.
Well, you use it, it's used in
production.
everything. We have to present everything that we do digitally.
Yeah.
Even robotics, you have to present an engineering notebook. Even materials and trades, we have to be able to use digital media to present our findings. So it aligns with everything, really.
How many like total unique classes have you taught?
At Biddeford,
I think just in total in your 24 years. Too many to count.
well, industrial arts evolved to technology education. So I think we evolved from strictly wood to other projects like Lego robotics, and then there was aligning the curriculum with the core subjects. So there was a lot of history and vocabulary and the arts, and then from aligning with the core curriculums, we evolved to STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and math. So again, I can be more creative about how I teach metals lessons in a materials class because I can incorporate a lot of science. I can incorporate in a materials class in our woods lessons, I can incorporate a lot of math. So it's really very diverse. Programming, as you know, there's math. Digital media, as you know, there's math. So I teach across all the core curriculums, but more specifically, I want to align myself with careers. Rather than a math class, I want to lead you towards what type of career might you like to have. Would you like to work in digital media? Would you like to work in the woods industry? Would you like to work in an industry that involves metalworking?
Yeah, that's like a lot of like the classes here. They're all preparing you for like certain. I think there's like an electrician class here too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, my dad's an electrician. Yeah.
Right. At the Center of Technology, you have automotives, auto body, building construction, machine tooling, welding, And now we have all of the new programs at the addition. So you have culinary arts and sports medicine, and I'm probably forgetting one, hospitality management. So lots of programs that will help lead students to their careers, or at least expose them to them so they can choose whether they would like to pursue that career or if maybe they want to investigate another venue.
Yeah. Have you actually seen a project by someone that just absolutely blew you away in one of your classes?
Absolutely. Some students are very creative and very ambitious. We've done plastics projects that I only ask the students to use recycled materials for, and some of the plastic projects have been very inventive. Again, metals projects, I've done the same thing. Let's do a small metals project with only recycled materials. And I had one student make a barbecue grill out of aluminum coffee cans and aluminum plates, and it was really quite impressive.
Did it work?
Yeah, absolutely.
It worked?
We took it out back and we lit some little wood kindling scraps on fire, and we cooked hot dogs.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Is it still here in this building?
It is.
Oh, I'm totally going to get that.
It's in the other room. It's in the work lab.
Oh, okay.
It's not in this classroom space, but it's right next door. So if you want to shoot over there sometime, we can.
Yeah. So, do you like any of the classes? Like, do you like teaching one of your classes more than the other?
Well, I like that I have a variety because I really prefer to be hands-on, very mechanical. I think I learn best when I'm taught by watching and then repeating and doing, more so than reading theory. So I feel like there may be some students who also learn better that way, a little bit better with a project-based lesson than a literature or theory-based lesson. So I love those classes, but they're challenging, they're material intensive, they're messy. So I like my programming and my digital media classes as well because they're rewarding when a student accomplishes a project, when they develop a program and it works. It's satisfying. I couldn't teach robotics, even though it's very mechanical and hands-on, without teaching programming. So there's that.
I mean, they kind of go hand in hand together.
Necessity, and it is also challenging. It can be difficult to figure out how to make your robot understand the actions that you want it to perform by inputting code in a computer. So it's challenging. I think digital media is probably the least challenging, but still rewarding in its own way. I love to see students be very creative, and I love some of their digital media works. I love their videos. I love their photographs. It's just not my original passion. It's more of a sidestep from my original mainstream curriculum that I taught.
You know, if you could, what other classes, like, if you were able to, like, what other classes would you teach?
I always like to learn new things. So, you know, in my lifetime, I dipped my hands in building construction, in cake decoration, in pottery making. But then, you know, I would be stepping on other teachers' toes. So there's enough variety of classes at Biddeford High School that I don't know where else I would extend myself other than in my materials class. I incorporated jewelry making, which I don't know that existed before, but I think maybe it can attract students that hadn't considered that before. It lends itself to small business industry more than big business industry. So that's probably one of my most recent and most liked newer things that I teach. There's always going to be something new, more fun, coming around the corner, and when it presents itself and the time and the materials are available, I'd be glad to add anything new.
You said you dipped your toes into like a bit of cake decorating.
Yes.
Like with the passion classes thing, maybe you can work with the culinary arts teacher, making and decorating a cake.
You're absolutely
That'd be
right.
a pretty good passion class.
That would be. That's a very good idea. I'll talk to him about it. Maybe that's something he'd be interested in doing together.
All right. So you run like a bunch of classes. How do you keep them all organized?
Well, it's I have a tendency to color code things. I like the colors of the spectrum: red, orange, yellow, green, blue. So you'll see my materials class is my first class, so it's red. And then I didn't want my programming class to be orange because I have materials twice. So I went red and orange with materials, and then green with programming and blue with robotics. So I have students store their assignments in folders that are aligned with their class color, and that helps me organize things a little bit. I have electronic folders, and they're separated class labels, so when students hand in work, I move their assignments into their folder, so I can just go to my specific folders and on my in my drive, on my files. I organize everything, and I try to organize everything in the classroom. It's not always easy when I have something like 2 materials classes, unless I take copious notes. Sometimes I forget how far which class. Some classes progress faster than others, so sometimes I just have to ask the students, and they'll remind me where we left off, and so where we need to pick up again.
And the final question, and we can end it here. Do you run any of the clubs? I think there's a robotics club. Do you run that?
I have a robotics club, and I don't have a lot of participants, so I would love any opportunity to promote that. When I first got here, I had a very veteran, well-trained robotics club, and they did really well in robotics competitions. And now, since COVID, I haven't seemed to be able to redevelop that kind of passion about the robotics club or have any veteran robotics club team members. So I really am hoping this year I got a few freshmen, even an 8th grader, to participate. So I'm hoping that continues, that more students will get interested, and hopefully we can build that back up again to a successful winning robotics team. But whether we win in competitions or not, it's always fun after school to build robots and learn how to be strategic and do different fun things with them.
I mean, I know there's like the TV screens around school. I'm not sure like how many people see them, but I'll definitely look at the title and maybe a bit about like the reading. Maybe you could put something up about like the robotics scene there if you're allowed.
On the television screen at the high school?
Yeah, on like those television screens that are around.
That's a good idea. I had put up some posters, but I didn't petition to be included on those television screens, so I'll definitely put that on my list of things to work on.
Alright, I think that will end it.